Welcome to Relics Radio, your favorite weekly podcast dedicated to the metal detecting and treasure hunting community. Here are your hosts, Ken from Adventures in Dirt and Tony from 5280 Adventures.
What day is it? What time is it? Teasing. Hey, welcome everyone to Relics Radio Wednesday night. DK here from Adventures in Dirt. I want to welcome you all in to our weekly live stream here. Relics Radio has been on for about 9 years. Can you believe it? Crazy. And we come to you every Wednesday. Now streaming on video so you can actually see some of the finds our guests talk about. And can't wait to get to tonight's guest. Been looking forward to talking to Rip for a long time. But first, let me bring in my co-host. What's up, buddy?
Cheers, buddy. Cheers, buddy. How are you?
I'm doing good. Hold on.
You're surviving?
I'll be a lightweight tonight, huh?
You're surviving, huh?
I am.
Good.
Thanks.
You're looking good, man.
Feeling good.
Yeah.
Feeling strong. Yeah.
Can you still play the piano?
Only with my feet. With my feet. I
can't. Well,
these hands are next. I got to have some artificial knuckles put in.
Oh my gosh. It's good to see you, man. We've been talking a lot, but I haven't seen you in a while. And I'm in number one Relics Radio. We took last week off, so yeah, yeah, it's going well. Obviously, we haven't been out detecting for a little bit.
No, it hasn't since we've been out with Tom and the gang down south. I mean, that was a blast. I mean, for me, it was like I knew it was going to be a long break until I was able to get back out again. Yeah. Hopefully, it won't be as long as I thought. That'd be cool. But it was a really good last hunt. Not necessarily what you found. Just the fun we had, the place we were, the opportunity we had. It was a lot of fun for sure.
It's fun. It's funny you mentioned that because I was talking with our guest tonight about that before we came on the show. To where, how you just meet people from the community. And I told him, I'm like, you reach out to one person, and all of a sudden then you go detect with them, and then you're texting the people like every single day about the passion and the history and the finds, and it's just kind of crazy. Love the community, man. It's incredible. We've got an awesome community. If you guys are watching on the replay, we've got an awesome community on the live chat going on right now. A whole bunch of people over there just chatting it up, introducing themselves, checking in with each person, and talk about a whole bunch of stuff. So, let's talk about the live chat real quick. Let's bring them on in here, and I want to get to our guest here pretty soon. What do you think?
Yeah, and I also want to mention something. A couple times during the show tonight. Kind of a special announcement, Tony and I have.
Yeah.
I want people here early, and then also if they're catching us late.
Do it right now. Go for it.
Next Wednesday, April, was it 15th? Next Wednesday. Don't ask me about days, man. My days are mixed up.
April 15th.
April 15th here on Relics Radio. We are having on Metal Detectorists. We're having Bree on from Metal Detectorists. She's Nocta's latest nomad, and she's bringing the goods with her.
She's bringing some good goods.
We're going to give away a Legend 2 here on the show on Relics Radio. Look at that. Legend 2 giveaway, April 15th with Bree from Metal Detectorists. Tell you what, Nocta always stepping up. You guys got to join us, though. You have to be live. You have to be in the chat. You got to be able to type in words and interact with us. So if you're listener only, if you're listening on the audio replay or you're listening and always lurking, find a way of joining us live on video next Wednesday night, April 15th, 8 p.m. Eastern. We get started live here. Just come on in the chat, type in a comment, and watch the chat go by, enjoy the show. At some point during that show, we're going to give away to one lucky viewer a Legend 2. How cool is that?
How many times can you have the opportunity to win $1,000 machine? That's insane.
Right.
And we're so lucky to have Bree come on with us. We're going to talk about a lot of different stuff, but it's going to be an awesome show. Make sure you guys join us for that.
Yeah. Can't wait. Metal Tech and giveaway is great. I can't wait to talk to Bree. Tons of questions for her, and it's gonna be a great show. We're gonna have so much fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Agreed.
All right. Yeah. Who are we seeing in chat?
Copper Joe. He's first in tonight.
Yep. So Copper Joe, good to see you, buddy.
Well, we got Bells in the chat. Good evening, everyone. And that's 2 people that beat Mr. Bill Hayes in.
What's up, Bill? You're slacking, Bill. Come on, what's going on there?
Good to see you, Bill. Talked with Bill a little bit over the last week and stuff. So everything's going well with Bill for sure.
Right.
Norm Peterson. Good evening, everyone. Hope everyone's having a good night.
Good to see you.
Yeah, Mr. Bob Rose. Bob's joining us every week here on Relics Radio.
Yeah, Bob, we appreciate you being here, man.
Yes.
Throw down some questions for us tonight if you got them.
Yeah. If you guys have any questions, throw them in the chat. Digging. I can never get this one.
Digging TN Connect. Or is it Tennessee?
Oh, what about Digging Tennessee, etc.?
Etc. Yeah, he's over there right now calling us the biggest bunch of idiots. He's like, "Come on,
I've never been able to get it right. I think it's Digging Tennessee, except like Tennessee and all over the place."
Okay, you gotta let us know in the chat whether we got that or not.
We just broke the code on that one finally, because I've never been able to pronounce that.
Sorry, my friend. Sorry, man. Butchered that one.
Pleasure. Hello, everyone. Hope all is well.
Bill got it. Hi, Digging TN. He said.
That's right. Yeah, I'm a little slow on the uptake there. So let's see who else we got. Here's somebody new we've never met. Harwalk. At Harwalk says, "Hey, y'all.
What's up? Good to see you.
Good to meet you. Thanks for coming in. Hopefully you enjoy what you see and come visit us more often."
Yeah.
How about Beneath the Bluegrass? Good evening from the great Commonwealth of Kentucky to everyone.
Justin, good to see you.
Yeah. You know what they make in Kentucky?
Yeah, they make really good horses.
Birds.
And birds.
Scotty Kappas. Welcome, Scotty. Welcome.
All right, man. Good to see you. Welcome, everybody.
I just saw Scotty was saying just got back from detecting and found a nice 1876 Indian head and a horseshoe.
Oh, there you go.
That's good.
I'll take it.
Absolutely. That's a good.
Anytime.
This guy says, "Good evening, everyone." Mr. Ripcode.
We're
going to be chatting with this guy here pretty soon, so stay with us.
Get to him.
Metal Detecting NC.
Oh, that's
welcome.
You, man. I was looking at his have a real nice
coin?
honor coin. What do they call it?
Yeah.
Honor coin, right? Yeah.
Challenge coin.
Challenge coin. That's what I wanted to say.
Yep, mine's right here.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can't really see it. Mine's behind the guy with the metal detector. Mine's sitting up there. So
down on my display too, and I was looking at it today, thinking about him today. So
I know.
Thank you, buddy. Thanks for sending those out to us. We really appreciate it.
Hey, Practical Ken, Mr. Ripcode, hello, out detecting right now and watching. That's That's some commitment right there. Dang,
it is. Yeah, that's double duty. That's pretty cool. Good job.
Hey, Braden. Bushert 3121. Haven't made a live show in a while. Happy I made it tonight. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, make sure you join us next week too, Braden. You'll have a great opportunity to win a detector. That'd be great.
Yeah,
cool.
Got to say hello to Tin Man. Tin Man made a comment on a social media post earlier, so just letting him know from friend to friend. I'm doing the research, man. I am putting in the work. So. Drum and Detect. Wow, I haven't seen Drum and Detect in a while.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Good to see
you. Lurker Troy always in the background, but
not always lurking anymore.
Not always lurking. Yeah, he won't be lurking next week when we're giving away a metal detector. All right.
That's right.
That's awesome. Hey, before we bring our guest on, I just want to mention everybody listening and watching, just to you guys who are supporters of the podcast. If you guys want to see some pretty cool coin displays over on republicdisplays.com, come check it out. And if you use the code Relics Radio 10 at checkout, it's going to get you 10% off all the products. So head over to republicdisplays.com, check it all out, see what you can find, see what you like. That picture right there has got a KG2 display and a Elizabeth I display. So lots of international displays, lots of Liberty displays, and all that kind of good stuff. Come over there and check it out. See what you like. Use Relics Radio 10.
It's great website. You did a good job on that.
Cool. Thank you, man.
All right, let's get to Rip.
You ready to do this? I'm been looking forward to this for a while. So let's bring on Rip.
Rip.
Happy good morning to you, Mr. Ripcode. How are you?
How's it going, Rip?
Oh, wow. Thanks for having me on tonight.
Yeah, we appreciate you coming on with us. How are things now? You're whereabouts are you in? You're in Michigan.
I am in Muskegon, Michigan.
Oh,
that's like Southwest Michigan. We are right on Lake Michigan, so I'm like 10 minutes away from the lake.
oh wow.
So for those people who like the water hunt, you're in a great spot for that.
Ooh, that's good.
I will say, yeah. Go ahead, Tony.
No, I was just going to say real quick, we've got a lot of followers from Ohio, and I'm from Ohio as well. So we're going to make an exception and actually, be cordial and things like that to the team up north, all those kind of different things. So,
he's not allowed
if you guys are in the chat and you're from Ohio, let's be kind to the guest. He has feelings too.
Oh my gosh.
I got to throw that out there, man. That's just how I am. So
no, I know this is going to be weird. I'm not a sports guy. So all I've been yelling for the last couple of days is go sports.
Yeah. I'm not either. I'm not a big sports guy, but I know Tony.
Well, it was a big week. Michigan won the basketball tournament, so
I did hear that. Yes, I did hear that. Yeah. So I did know
that. Yep. All right, let's get back to the the scheduled programming about metal detecting.
You don't want to do one of these real quick?
Well, I will later. I'm going to ease into it. I don't want him to cut off real quick.
Well, Rip, let's start. Tell us about you. And people might not be familiar with you. Like, of all the things in the world, we always like to ask our guests, how'd you get started in this thing? How long ago? Kind of what drew you into it? That kind of thing. Tell us your story a bit.
Well, this is the weird thing. When I first started metal detecting, I actually started back in like 1998. And I had, what was it? At that time, it was, Garrett's and White were the two big names. And I had a Garrett, the GTA 1000. And that was like the creme de la creme. I remember I had to actually wait for a bonus check to come out because at that time it was like $600. And I only metal detected for a short amount of time. Then I had like all these life things happen, and I ended up, having to get rid of the detector. And then it was just like this barren wasteland of no detecting. I almost kind of forgot about the hobby. And then it was in 2023, a coworker was just talking and said, "Hey, I'm getting rid of a metal detector," and it was an Ace 300. So I grabbed it. I only wanted a few $100 for it. Got back out, started doing things. Jumped into the YouTube channels. Found out that people were way more friendly. Getting information was a lot easier than what it used to be. Back when I was doing it back in the 90s, there wasn't much online. Google was just like a thing, and so there wasn't like information readily available, and everybody was super secretive. Nobody would tell you anything. But then fast forward to today, everyone's super helpful. And so right now I've got, since that, that big lapse in time, I've got about 2 years under my belt now.
2 years back into it. Yeah, I know that. So that first machine you had, that was that green one, right? It was.
Yes, it was they had the green control box, and it had the white coil.
Yeah.
White coil, white shaft.
And what are you swinging these days? What are you swinging these days? And do you notice a big, what's the biggest difference you see between the two machines?
I think back then it was like the GTA 1000. It was more graphic. I mean, it would have that little LCD like bar graph, right, and it would kind of plop it on there. But then it would kind of fall under the pictures at the time. Like what a coin or a ring or a nickel would be. And I remember when I actually had that thing, I never found. Well, I did find one nickel, but I think that was by accident. Never found, because I always thought they were pull tabs, because they would say they were pull tabs, and now you know that pull tabs and nickels are the same,
and gold.
And gold.
All right in that same area there, yeah.
I found a couple of coins, and coming around this time with the new technology and the information so readily available, it's just interesting. We were talking a little bit earlier. In the span of 10 months, I went through 5 different machines.
That's insane. That's incredible. That's great.
Well, on the plus side, this is an expensive hobby, but thankfully, I'm getting back some of the money, from all the money I found in different things, and I was able to pass the machines on to other people without, losing my butt too much on some of the purchases.
Right.
Good. Yeah. I remember when I first started out with an Ace 250. I spent about 18 months just digging tot lots, just trying to figure out what it was telling me and things like that. And luckily I bought it used, but within that 18 months I gotten over $100 and some in clad from tot lots, and it ended up doing it myself. And from there, then I bought another one and another one and another one. All of them are sitting here behind me. So yeah,
crazy. I received an email a couple of days ago from a second cousin that I haven't heard from in probably 30 years, and always wondered what happened to her. You know what I mean? We were kind of distant connected, but had been around each other when we were younger. And she just said, "Hey, cousin," she said, the craziest thing, she goes, "I found your YouTube channel." She goes, "I'm really good friends with JD from JD's Variety Channel. And I was searching YouTube and found an interview you did with him 7 years ago. And I said, hey, that interviewer looks like my second cousin, Ken." So she said, I couldn't find anything that said Ken on YouTube because everything says DK there. But she finally found my email. And she goes, "And my son just got his first metal detector 10 days ago from his grandma." And so we don't know what we're doing with it. You know what I mean? And I'm like, well, John's an excellent person to go to if you know John. And so yeah, we've been talking metal detecting now and getting together and stuff. So that's cool.
That's crazy.
Small world and stuff. But
yeah, right.
So Rip, where did Ripcode come from? Like, are you an old code guy? Are you old techie kind of code writer? No.
You see, and that's a lot of people actually assume that, but it's funny because I actually did computer programming. I actually got out of IT because it was so stressful, and then got into my current job. So that's what I'm doing now. Yeah. But no, the Ripcode actually, and I'll show you. I knew that was you. Everybody asked that, and I thought it would be a good time to talk about it. But that's a Ripcode.
Oh,
it's this little toy motorcycle. Mattel made this back in 1973. It was a little series called Rumblers, and this was my absolute favorite toy. In fact, I actually went back and I bought this off of eBay because it's not the one I had, because of course the ones I had as kids were all destroyed. I found this one in a broken, in a bad blister pack and bought it. They were really expensive, but it was like my absolute favorite. Except for Ripcode. It was a fun name, and what I was doing is I was using that nickname like on all the forums, and eventually the name just kind of stuck. And I like it because when I look at that little toy, what it means to me is it brings back that fun kid-like adventure spirit that you have. And that's why I thought it would be perfect. And even though people think, what is a Ripcode? What does it have to do with metal detecting or Ripcord or Riptide? I've had all these different names that I've been called by, but it's fun. It represents, it's a little toy motorcycle. It just represents going back and being that little kid every time we go out.
That's awesome.
And I love that story much better as if you would have said, "Oh yeah, I'm an old coder from back in the Flash days and blah, blah, blah."
No, I am an old coder. I don't know if you remember, I did Cobol RPG. I actually did those on mainframes and stuff like that. I did that and had to get out of that because it was just too crazy stressful.
Yeah.
I like that story better.
Yeah, way better.
That's so cool.
And then you throw the adventures on the end of the channel, and then you've got three guys here that all we do are just go on adventures.
That's all we do.
And even Mrs. Ripcode, she likes to travel. She likes to try new things, and so that's why it became Ripcode's Adventures. Because at first it just started out, it was just me, but I found that she actually likes to do this. And when I asked her if she wanted to metal detect, she's like, "Yeah." I mean, it has to be perfect conditions. It has to be warm. It has to be a nice sunny beach, but she'll get out there with me. That's what makes me happy.
From what I've seen, she does pretty well out there as well. So I'd be definitely proud to take her along all the time. Find some good stuff.
She has found some good things. Like I said, if I could ever get her out sometime to do this, but yeah, I could showcase some of the stuff that she's gotten. Where I remember there was a time we was out metal detecting and nobody was finding anything, and all of a sudden, we're just kind of wandering around. It was a big group of us, and all I hear is, "I think I found a ring," and this was at an old late 1800s, early 1900s site.
Ooh.
And so it was an old vintage silver ring. It was damaged and stuff like that. I wish I would have sent you guys a picture of that, but that was her find, so that's why I didn't want to showcase it. But she had it repaired, she had it appraised. We actually took it to one of those traveling, Antique Roadshow? They had a traveling one. They checked it out. They couldn't identify it because it didn't have any markings, but they said it was in that time frame, and so she was super happy about that find.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's great when you can do something like that with a spouse and get to go enjoy those hobbies together like that.
Yeah, I think both of our spouses, they don't necessarily want to go out and detect. They at least mine finds it not very exciting, but I know for myself and probably for Ken too, when I walk in the door, the first question is, did you find any rings? Because she usually gets the rings then if I find them.
Oh, I thought that was just me because yes, she has every good ring.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
She's in there pulling, zippers and looking in pouches and like,
Right.
hold out on me. I know you found something good.
Right.
Oh, and she's super happy when they fit right out of the pouch.
Right. Yep. And that's awesome.
And if she doesn't want them, the nieces and the daughters and different, the different girls in the family, they want them then.
Yep.
One of the first really good rings I found was a anniversary band that had 3 rows of diamonds on it, kind of almost 3/4 of the way around. Really nice ring, and it fit her perfectly. It's been in a jewelry box ever since, but every time I leave the house now, it's find a ring. Go find me a ring.
Yep.
She says the same thing. Yeah. Like I said, she's only found a ring in the dirt. I'm trying to get her to do more water hunting, and so hopefully this year we'll get out for that.
I was going to ask you, do you do a lot of water hunting? You mentioned you're over there on the coast of the lake in Michigan. Do you do much water hunting? Like, is that your thing?
I like the water hunting. In fact, like the first year that I was detecting, I did only because we had such mild winters. I was actually in the water most of the winter because I was using waders and trapper's gloves, and obviously I can only go like chest deep, but I found a lot of good stuff because once the season's over, the normal guys aren't out, and whatever's didn't get picked up, I was able to go and snag it. I found some good things on my first winter out, and then the last couple of winters it's just been nuts, and so everything froze over, so there was no water hunting the last 2 winters. But I do enjoy it. So yeah, it's a different thing, and the one nice thing about it is it's clean because when you're done, everything's already rinsed off, and it's nice. And if it's hot, you're in the water, so that makes it nice.
Are you a diver?
I am a diver. Yep.
You ever taken the detector deep?
No, I've only just been in shallow water.
Shallow, yeah. Any interested in doing anything like heading to Florida and getting off the coast and getting down 20, 30 feet? Yeah.
What was it? What's the name of the big Mel Fisher? They've actually got a group out there still that are working, and they're always looking for people to go and volunteer. I actually went and looked at that, but that would have to be a retirement gig because you have to actually commit, I think, like 6 months. And it's not really for pay. You're doing it because, for the excitement and be part of the crew and things like that. And I think I'd still be in good enough shape to do it, but it's the time thing. And I would have to leave Mrs. Ripcode for 6 months, and I don't know if she'd be too thrilled about that part. But I would love to do something like that.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Man. That'd be exciting.
Yeah, I'd love to do that. I know that it's on my bucket list. Maybe someday to do it. Same thing. Time, age. Fitness is, when's the cutoff point for that? I know Treasure Nick down there, he's gone out. He's really into all that stuff now. And we need to have him on again too soon to talk about all his adventures out there on that Florida coast, digging those wrecks.
That's exciting.
I'd love to do it. Yeah. I've never been to the Mel Fisher Museum or anything like that. Do you get a chance to visit that at all, Rip?
I have not. That's a thing. That's a bucket list item now too, though. And the next time we get down to Florida, that's one of the places I would like to stop too.
Yeah. Really cool.
And there was a question you asked me, and I think I just kind of skipped over it though. And you were asking me, I'm running the Manicore. Mrs. Ripcode is running the Equinox 900, and then I kept my Garrett, the AT Max, as like a backup machine, as like a loaner for friends who want to like try things out.
Gotcha. Yeah. You like that Manicore? I know Tony loves his.
I love it. Like I said, I was almost tempted to go get a Deus because everyone talks about how good that is, and I've watched the different videos and the comparison. But then I've talked to some people who actually have it, who have both, and just friends, and they're telling me that they think the Manicore is better. So they said, don't go buy the Deus. So I'm like, I don't know. I mean, but then you have the hardcore Deus people out there that think that the Deus is better, and all I know is that I have a good machine right now, so I don't need to spend any more money on something else.
There you go. That's all you need to do.
Most important. You can't go wrong with either one of those machines. They're both fantastic, and both have their advantages for sure. So they're both great machines.
Yeah, the one you learn to master, right, becomes the best machine. I mean, you just got to nail that one, and I know it's a great machine. Great machine.
Well, I've got the M9 coil on.
Oh, great. Yeah.
Like I said, I mostly run just the stock settings. I know everyone's talking about tweaking things.
Pros.
Things, but the thing is, usually I mess with settings. I mean, I'll try and tweak things if I think, as they call it, if it's like cleared out or something like that, maybe to see if I've missed some things or good to go back over it. But I mostly run just stock settings, and I'm finding good stuff, so I don't want to mess with things.
Yeah,
I know there's a lot of experts out there that like to tweak everything, and I'm sure there's some things that could be tweaked. But right now, even after this amount of time, I still, I think the machine can run faster than I can. What am I trying to say? The machine is smarter than me right now, so that's why I don't want to mess with the thing. I'm just going to use it as is.
Yeah.
Yep. And we did a segment, I don't know, a couple months ago, maybe it was like which one, and it was like, do you run stock settings or do you fiddle with the settings? And Ken is really doing fantastic with the Deus, man. He's starting to really dial it in, and he's tweaking slightly. Once you figure out a good spot, you make just tiny little adjustments, and that's what Ken's doing. And then my answer on the Manicore was, I know it's not popular, but I turn it on and I run it stock. There's very, very little that I actually change with it. I know that as I probably progress a little bit further, I might make some little small changes to sensitivity or, those kind of different things. But overall, I'm very satisfied right out of the box with it. So, and I also have the M9 coil as well. So it's just a great setup, and there's not really much you have to do with it, which I love.
Yeah, pretty much the only thing that I need to do is noise cancellation, obviously, maybe some ground balancing occasionally, and then sensitivity. A lot of times, if it gets, only because that machine is so powerful, if it gets too chattery or just too noisy, I just crank it down till it gets quiet. And I'm still finding things. So that's the part that keeps throwing me off. That that's supposed to be the power, but yet I can still keep finding things. And I'm like always surprised how deep things are, even at the lower sensitivities.
Yep.
Yeah. Only problem I have with Tony's machine is it keeps finding stuff right behind me in the spaces that I was just at. It just infuriates me. I don't know what it is with that.
Well, you got that new high frequency coil. I don't think that's going to be happening very much longer. I'm telling you that the high frequency 2, right?
Yeah, the HS2. Well, yeah. We give each other a hard time because we both swing sort of these, two detectors that are considered, some of the best in the industry right now. And so we have a good time giving each other the business about it all the time. Yeah.
Twice now, I've actually cut Mrs. Ripcode off just because I happened to be in the area. It was the path that she was on. Got a signal, dug it up, and it was something really good. Like I said, and this last time, and that was for her. It happened to be her first silver thimble find. She was coming right at it, and I'm just standing. I just happened to be standing. I swung over. I'm like, you might want to check this, hon. Right. And she did, and I'm like, oh, thank God I didn't dig that. Because if I would have got in trouble again. Third time's the charm. Stay out of her path. That's all I know.
And if you do find something, don't tell her about it.
Yeah, I'm not good at hiding stuff like that because that's the thing. When she is with me, she wants to help and do the videos and things. So next time, I found this, or I'm all excited and yelling, and so there's no way I could hide anything if I found something good. So that way, I know this time, if she's in a path, at least stay out of her lane. That way, I know I'll get out.
Absolutely.
We always say it on the show, right? It's about inches and angles. Like anybody can come over anybody else's path and find something that they just walked over. I saw it happen in England with a little gold stater coin that it was in somebody's fresh boot print. So we had all been all over that area, and somebody just happened to come across it, hit it at the right swing, put his coil right over it, and there it was, a 2,000-year-old gold coin. So. Jeez. It can happen to anybody. I mean, doesn't prove any superiority of any machine or anything for sure. But no. So where do you like to hunt, Rip? Like where, if you had to pick, beach, woods, home site, fields, old historical properties, like what's sort of your gig? What do you like to go after? Parks?
Well, I do like the water but the thing is, I guess if you find an old watering hole, then you might find like old coins or things like that. But typically, most of the places that have water, you're going to be finding more modern stuff, modern jewelry, modern coins, which is good if you find something nice in gold or silver. And I do like that. It's a lot of fun, especially in the summertime when it's super hot. But otherwise, I do like the woods, but man, it's going to be crazy this year with ticks. People are coming out of the woods now with ticks all over them. So that makes me a little nervous, but I do enjoy the woods. But home sites, I haven't been to too many of them, but man, those, if you can get to one, I've got one I got to go back to because it did so well for me. And I don't think it was detected, but yeah, if you can get a home site that nobody's hit, man, the potential at those places is really cool. So I like being in the dirt. The water is clean. Like you said, Mrs. Ripcode, she'll get in the dirt or the water. It just has to be the air temperature that's a big factor for her.
Sure. That's awesome. Yeah, we love the old home sites or even ghost towns. We've got quite a few things out here in Colorado where we can get into where, towns that no longer are there. It's open fields, and those are kind of both Ken and I. We're lucky that we have the same kind of interests in that because it's all about the history for us, and it's the not even monetarily like finding really valuable items, but it's also just finding an item and then doing the research on it after that really drives us. So we like the fields.
Understandable. And see, that's the thing. I found lots of cool relics that I had no idea what they were, but I found out what they were. And then you would find out you could go buy them on eBay, and this like a cool button. I think I found one. It was marked MSH, and it said I had to do the research on it. It's Michigan Soldiers Hospital. It was like a retirement hospital in Michigan for retired soldiers from like Civil War time. So the button was really cool. I'm thinking, man, this has got to be. It's like 20. You can get it for like $25 for one that's in like great condition on eBay. So it's not valuable. But I didn't know anything about this, so I did the research on it and I learned something about it. And you're right. Sometimes the history of the item is way more valuable than the actual monetary value. And the thing is that I think that makes it just like it makes that item just that much more special to have because I learned something about it.
I was just having that conversation with my physical therapist. I was trying to explain to her my draw towards metal detecting, and they always want to know, like, oh, what's the best thing you found? It's like, well, probably the best thing I've found, in my opinion, isn't going to be very impressive to you. You know what I mean? Because she's probably looking for I found this thing is worth $12,000 and amazing and stuff. But I think by the time we got done with the conversation, she got it. I think she got it. But it's sometimes it takes you down the rabbit hole. Like I'd be thrilled to death with that button, Rip. Like first it's got letters on it, so you're like, oh, there's something I can research, and then when that Google response pops up and you see it was that retired soldiers hospital and what period that was from, oh my gosh, that just goes right up to a top shelf of my display cabinet. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Really, really cool find.
And see, that's the other crazy thing about this hobby is I found things that looked like bits and bobs in it, or I thought they were junk, and they would go in like the scrap thing, and somebody would see a picture of it, and they're like, "Dude, that's a Model T ignition coil part. Looks like a little T-shaped thing. I didn't know what that was. I was about ready to toss it. I'm like, what? So it goes here, and you find like it was like the valve stem from a Model T wheel.
Yeah,
I thought that was junk. So got all these little bits and pieces of Model T parts, which if it wasn't for other people saying that's something kind of cool, and like once I knew what it was, then it's not junk anymore. You're like, oh my gosh, that's something super cool. Something that's over 100 years old. And then next thing you know, I have all these little bits and parts of Model T parts that I put into like a little display box of things I found. And I didn't even know anything about these, like I said. And so there's the part about the research. You learn more.
Yep.
Amazing.
Yep. And the community is incredible. Like, so much different than back in, when you first started in 98, right? It's like the community is much larger now. They're much more giving now. They're willing to kind of talk about stuff. So you starting a YouTube channel, I'm sure you've seen it, and getting out on social media, you have access to the knowledge base of many, many different people from all over the place. And they see a little bits and bobs in one of your videos, like, hey, do you know what that is? That's this and that. And that's irreplaceable. Like, that's a heck of a resource right there.
It is.
Have you ever been to, go ahead, Tony.
No, I was just going to say, like, even being on Facebook, so many different pages as well as just eyes on it. They just can ID it immediately. Things that you have no clue what they are, and then someone IDs it, and you're like, oh yeah, I can see that. And then next time you see it, or somebody else is going, what is this thing? Now then you're like, oh, that's a such and such. It's like a
they think you're brilliant.
like Scotty Coppers. I found an ox knob and a lug nut in one day. Not a lot of difference. So one person's going to call it an ox knob, the one's going to call it a lug nut, and then you guys, then you got to figure it out from there. But then the next time you see it, holy cow, yeah, that's an ox knob.
That's funny.
See, that's what's interesting. Like for us who are in the hobby,
Yeah.
What it is and the history is like super important. Like I said, everybody that like all my friends that don't detect, first thing, what's it worth?
Yes.
You're going to sell it. I'm like, no, I don't want to sell it. Well, how much would that gold ring be worth? Or how much would this silver coin be worth? I'm like, I don't know. And I don't really care because I'm not getting rid of it. It's not the value. It's the finding of it. It's the, bringing it back to light and having it on display on my shelf or as part of my collection. That's where the value is for me.
And it teaches you stuff too. Like there's so many of my favorite finds are things that I had to go research, found out all about it. And it was just so interesting to me, right? Like a little US cuff button, right? From the Battle of Plattsburgh area, found up in Chazy, New York. So I knew it was cool because it was a militia button, little cuff button, little pewter cuff button, said US on it. And I'm like, that's awesome. That's awesome. But then when you start reading about the Battle of Plattsburgh and who was there and how our soldiers buffaloed the British soldiers and the whole stories about that on how they, the Navy battle on Lake Champlain and all that stuff, like it just led me down the rabbit hole to where now, if anybody had 10 minutes to give me, I would tell them that entire story of what I've learned that reduced itself to a little button about that big. You know what I mean? And that's, to me, that's the joy of the hobby for me. Like it's just learning that history, because I never had history teachers in school that made it interesting to me. So I never knew I had this. I guess when I started doing genealogy, right, I started getting interested in my own family history. But boy, metal detecting has just sparked something intense in it. Yeah.
And that's super cool right there, because you know how we're always saying, man, I really wish this thing could talk. And see, when you learn the history of it and you're telling the history of it, you're basically talking for that item that you found. That's how I look at it, So something like, like I said, this little weird, crusty button that you found or that I found, it doesn't mean anything. And then as soon as you find out the actual story behind it, it's like it just told you its history. That's super, super cool to me.
Absolutely. Hey, Ken, I sent you a little message there.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Let's do that too real quick. Hey, real quick, we just want to mention again that if you're just joining us, if you joined us late, you didn't hear us in the beginning of the show. Next Wednesday on April 15th at 8 p.m. Eastern, Relics Radio comes to you live again, and this time we're having Bree. We're having Bree on from Metal Detectorist. She's one of NOCTA's latest Nomad representatives. And we're going to give away a Legend 2 from NOCTA. How cool is that? You want to get $1,000 machine in your hand just for listening to Relics Radio and showing up and being here live with us on video and in the chat? You can do that next Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be a great night. Been looking forward to having Bree on for a number of weeks now. We finally got this coordinated to next Wednesday, the 15th, 8 p.m. Eastern. But you got to be here. You got to be here with us on video. You got to be in the chat. You got to be able to interact with us. So figure out how to do that. Shoot me a message if you can't figure out how to do that. And we'd love to have you join us next Wednesday. It's going to be an amazing show.
Love it.
Yeah, thanks for that reminder. For sure.
Yeah. You want to go down a different rabbit hole now?
Okay.
Let's touch on this now. Let's go down here.
Where are you? Oh, okay. Yeah. Let's do this.
I want to get to that.
Yep. I don't know if Rick even wants to talk about it, but I'm sure he will.
I'm sure.
Rick, as I was sort of becoming more and more familiar with you, watching your videos and checking out your Facebook page, which Tony has posted links in the thing, I couldn't help but notice something on your YouTube channel that caught my eye, and then it led me down a rabbit hole on you. So on your YouTube channel, I think you have some videos on there very early on to where you built a robot. And
how cool is that?
And then that led me further down the rabbit hole, and I found out there was a lot more associated with that. And I'm really interested in it because I'm a bit of a nerd. Probably not to the extent of being too involved in the Comic-Cons and the different fests and stuff, but I understand that you were really into Star Wars.
I was. Okay, so what happened is my wife and I, we joined. If you guys Google it, is a worldwide Star Wars costuming group. It's called the 501st Legion, and what they are is they're a group of people, and I mean their costumes are amazing. I mean, they're actually recognized by Lucasfilm and all the big names and things like that. 501st members have been they've been extras in Star Wars related commercials, in some of the movies, and some of the TV series. That's how good their costumes are. And my wife, we found out about them. We joined them, and then actually I joined first, and then Mrs. Ripcode, when she found out that they would attend events like cons or different things, and they were always charity themed, they were raising money for kids organizations, she came and joined along. So my costume was a 501st Clone Trooper.
Cool.
And then Mrs. Ripcode was a Biker Scout. And then later on in that time, I joined the R2 builders and ended up building a full-size R2-D2. So it was totally remote controlled. So you could I could drive it around like the cons and different events and things like that. Dome would spin, would make all the sounds. I mean, it looked like an R2 had rolled off the movie.
All right, now you covered a lot right there. So now we're going to break it down a little more. So first of all, I was familiar with the 501st Legion only because I would attend some of these cons here in Denver, and they would come marching in mass. Always super impressive. And as I understand it, you have to prove that you have a costume that has to be basically criticized or critiqued by the Legion to allow you to become a member. Like, it's got to be really top notch
Spot on
to be allowed to be a member.
Every Star Wars costume that you can think of, there is a standards. Basically, there is they have like a written guideline, and so it has to look like this, or it has to resemble this. And so basically they want, when you're done with that costume, they want it to look like that you stepped off or stepped out of a movie. That was the goal of the guidelines for these costumes. So people say that it's hard, but I'm like, the people who get into this hobby, they're super dedicated. They want to be part of the hobby. They want to look good, so they put all the effort. Sometimes there's a lot of time. Some of those costumes, like Boba Fett or the Mandalorian, Darth Vader, those costumes can be $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 depending on the quality level they want to attain. So it's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, well, there you go. There you go. Is that Mrs. Ripcode?
That is not Mrs. Ripcode, but that's a good friend of mine. And yes, that is my R2 right there. He's out there. We're at a con there, and R2 is dancing, and that biker scout is dancing with him for the kids.
Oh, wow. So pretty fully operational, the R2 droid?
If I don't know how many times people would go, was this used in the movies? Was this used in the movies? Like you said, it makes all the little beeps and bloops. There we go. That is Mrs. Ripcode, and that is I.
There you go.
That is awesome. That is incredible. Look at that.
Look at that. It's all beat up and aged.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Heck
they saw some action. But so within the 501st Legion, there's a whole subsect that actually is just R2 droid builders.
Oh, well, there's actually what you have, the R2 builders, or actually I think they're called the droid builders now, because those encompass R2s, the BB. It's pretty much any droid that was in any of the Star Wars movies. And then all the bad characters technically would be in the 501st Legion. And then all the good characters, there's a separate legion called the Rebel Legion.
Oh,
we don't like them though.
Yeah, we don't talk about that.
And then the newest thing obviously is the Mandalorian Mercs. So the Mandalorian mercenaries, that's a group of basically all the characters that you would see like in the Mandalorian, Boba Fett, Jango Fett, those characters, all those cool helmeted Mandalorian type warriors. They've got their own kind of group.
Pretty amazing, Tony, right? Like,
it's incredible.
And like any other hobby, there's a huge community surrounding it.
Right.
To where you just have like-minded individuals. I'm sure you've made incredible friendships, I'm sure, through your association.
I did. We were just talking about that. We saw some friends this past weekend, and I'm like, if it wasn't because of Star Wars, and there's a funny story. I would just do it real quick, but we were on our honeymoon and happened to be on, and Kelly goes, I need to use the bathroom. And when she did, I turned around, there was a costume shop behind us. And in that costume shop, there was a Boba Fett helmet. And the guy was trying to, get me to buy it. And I was like, no, I'm just going to walk out the door. Then he threw a number out where I couldn't resist, bought the helmet, And that helmet is what started this whole journey going into the 501st Legion, getting a costume and all that other stuff. So yeah, that's my nerd hobby.
You ever think of wearing your costume while you metal detect and film it?
No. The thing is, Kelly and I, like I said, we actually got, thankfully, this was a great hobby, but we went to so many events. We got to meet like the characters. The characters who played like Chewbacca. I met Kenny Baker, the guy inside of R2-D2. Anthony Daniels inside of C-3PO. I didn't get to meet any of the big names like Harrison, but I met so many different actors. But the wearing of the costume, it's just after my back was killing me. It's just the older we got, the harder it was to wear these costumes, and that's why we ended up getting rid of them. And then I would just attend the events with my R2, but then it was just too much of a time commitment, and so I ended up selling. The costumes have been sold. R2-D2 is sold, but he's housed up in Traverse City at a comic shop, and he's on permanent display, and he gets loaned out to different cons and events and things like that.
Wow.
So my costumes are still in use. Somebody else bought them, and they're using them still, and R2-D2 is still spreading the love of Star Wars.
Sweet.
That's awesome.
Sweet. Yeah. I would imagine it takes tons of time, right? All that traveling. How many would you attend a year, do you think? Would you go to as many as you could, or
there were years sometimes we would do 20, 30, 40 events.
Wow.
And that would be like it was almost like every weekend. And after a while, then we tried to a couple a month, and it just became too hard to do with everything else that was going on. And the expense, the travel, getting hotel rooms and going to different places, because these events weren't always in Michigan. Sometimes we would travel out of state to do events, but even just traveling around Michigan, it would still just add up because, hotel rooms and dinners out. And that's an expensive hobby. That hobby did not make us any money.
No, you're not getting any recouping anything on that one.
That was just that was definitely a pay to play hobby.
Tell you what, that's why metal detecting is so unique, right? It's one of the few hobbies where you could actually make some money back if you really want to do that to finance trips or equipment or whatever. It pays for itself over time.
We've got a couple people that we know that they metal detect parks exclusively and talk about like killing it on rings. Well, they end up selling all the rings, and then they go on England trip like twice a year. That pays 100% for all the expenses to go to England every single year. So crazy.
I like, the idea of doing that sounds good, but I'm like, I need to find these parks where people are finding all these gold and silver rings.
I know.
Insane. I have found more gold and silver in the water than I have on land. I mean, I found a few, but it's just like either they're getting hit, or either that, or we just don't have wealthy people at the parks that I'm going to.
I think the waters are not frequented as often as the parks are by detectorists. So stay in the water. You're doing well there. Stay there.
Yeah, 100%.
No, I was gonna say, that's the thing. It's here. I was surprised, and even the other detectorists that I know have said, for some reason in Muskegon, my area that I seem to frequent, there's a lot of people with detectors here. It seems like I can go out and I'm just, who's this guy or who's this guy? And I've actually tried to stop and talk to people that I didn't know, but most of them are just, they're not doing this as a main thing. It's just a little fun thing they do. But there are so many people with detectors around here. But I go to other areas and other cities, and these guys seem to have like free reign.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why my city happens to be so jam-packed.
Yeah, right.
But the cool thing is, like I said, but if anyone wants to get one and they need help, I'd be happy to help them.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep,
that's nice.
that.
Yeah, just reach out to him. Tony's going to be putting out his social media links all throughout the show tonight. We'll also have them down below in the description of this live stream. And if you're listening on the audio replay later, it'll be down in the description of the live stream or the audio podcast as well. Go give Rip a look over there and check out what he's doing. Him and Mrs. Ripcode hitting it sometimes. And yeah, it's cool, man. You guys got to do that hobby together. Now you're metal detecting together. I think it's great, man.
That's incredible.
Great. So let's talk about some of the stuff you found. Let's talk about some of the finds you've done. I saw one of your latest finds on your one of your latest videos. You want to talk about that? It was a pretty cool coin. And then we can maybe look at some pictures of some stuff you found. But didn't you find like a seated or a barber dime?
Oh, that was the most recent find. Yeah, that was the thing. Is that was the day that Mrs. Ripcode found the silver thimble, and I hadn't found anything. And we'd been out there. It was a long day. It was a beautiful day. We were happy to be out. But she's finally like, it's time to go. And even I was tired. And as we're walking back to the car, of course, you got to swing. And I went over a signal, and it sounded good. And I'm like, but I've been digging like ball jar lids all day, and it sounded exactly like them. Flipped the plug, and when I flipped the plug, something popped out and landed off to the side. I'm going, what is that? And that's when I picked it up. And like you said, thankfully, little barber dime popped out of the hole. I was like, oh, finally, to end the hunt. So we both got silver that day.
10 feet from the car. 10 feet from the car. End of the day.
Always.
Always. That just seems like
how every story starts out.
Yeah.
Well, and it's weird because for me, it's never like I'm consistently all day finding good stuff. It's either like I find something great at the beginning, and the rest of the day is just like blue. Or you find that one good thing, you're going back to the car, you're like, get out of here. Junk all day, and you hit the one. It's not like consistently bam, 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 bam. I haven't had a day like that yet. I'm hoping for that day, but it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, you're due for one. Come on.
Yeah. And when it happens, you'll be on cloud 12. It is amazing. There's no better days like that than when you're just popping stuff left and right. I know. And that's what's great about going to England, right? Because you can go to England. Any beep could be something like that. And usually the stuff you're finding there, you just don't find in America. So everything's like, it's just a wonderful day.
Well, and going to England is going to be a bucket lister trip for us, though. Like I said, Mrs. Ripcode likes to travel. And so we would love to go there. And if I can fit in like a day or two of metal detecting, I know she wouldn't have a problem with that. But I mean, we would go there. I would definitely want to see the country. And a friend of mine, Practical Ken, and I'm pretty sure he's been watching. He's tried to get me to go a couple of different times, but it's always it's like weekends that I have like work training that there's absolutely you can't get vacation on those days. Everything always seems to fall on that. A lot of these fun like dig stock and all these other big events that we would really like to go to are always falling on weekends that I can't get off right now. So that's why I said retirement coming up. Once they do that, calendar opens up. We're already talking about traveling around and mixing in vacation with events.
Wow, that's great. I mean, I can't wait to retire for the same reason.
Right.
We're like gonna, all these events that are going on now. There's just a bazillion of them, versus 5-10 years ago. Just absolutely crazy. But
Freedom Finders was in the chat earlier. I don't know if he's still watching, but that's what he does with his wife. They get in their little van and they just go from metal detecting event to metal detecting event. They're actually doing that this week and this weekend. So, once we all retire, we're going to do that. We'll travel all together and we'll go over to England twice a year. I mean, right? That's what we need to do.
Well, I was talking to Mrs. Ripcode on the way home from work, and I mentioned to her about those guys in their metal detecting van and how they travel around the country, and she's not opposed to the idea. So that could be something because we've talked about traveling before with some type of camper. So that's not out of the realm of possibilities.
Yeah. Yep. The ability's there. So, we got to take care of it. You had sent over, we've been talking for a couple weeks now, but you sent over some pictures of your latest finds and things like that, or not your latest, but just different ones. This one really caught my eye, and I think it probably caught the eye of Mrs. Ripcode as well. Let's look at this one here. Tell me about this ring here. Holy cats.
Okay. That was just, I had just gotten back into detecting, and that was my first water hunt. And I gotta give credit. The guy, his channel, it was Swing for the Ring.
Okay.
And he's he's mostly about water hunting. So I watched his shows over and over and over. And one of the things that he did was water hunting here in Michigan. So talked to him and different techniques, where to get the gear. So yes, this is the winter time. I go out there hunting all day long, just doing like one or two more passes. This comes up in the scoop, and I couldn't believe it. So yeah, I have not been able to top this ring yet.
That's beautiful, man.
Bar's kind of high for that one.
That's awesome.
Is that white gold or
it's 10 karat gold real diamonds.
Jeez.
Oh, wow.
Beautiful. Beautiful ring.
She enjoys it. Yeah, she inherited that. She took it over. Her nieces all want it. My daughter wants it. Everybody wants it. So it's not going to go anywhere.
Good.
Good.
And like I said, remember how I said that everyone wants to know, well, what's it worth? What's it worth? I don't know. I have no idea.
Right.
I don't care.
Well, yeah, if
it's not going anywhere.
If your mindset is not really for digging for monetary value, the last thing that's on your mind when you find something like that is to go get it appraised, or because you want to sell it or go to a pawn shop or things like that. It's just like, hey, my wife loves it. We got it for free. Let's wear the hell out of it. We can pass it down from generation. It's got a story now to it as well.
Well, but the one downside from this is that this was the very first water hunt. I was thinking every water hunt's going to be like this.
Yes.
And it's not.
Yes.
And then when it's not, you're like, come on, what's going on? Is my machine working?
Always hoping.
That's incredible.
Let's pull some other ones.
My niece had a good question. She goes, well, what about the person who lost that? So I did check around.
Yeah.
We looked to see if anybody lost anything. I looked online to the different groups to see if anyone posted a picture or something like that. I didn't find anything.
Yeah.
And hopefully, like most people, if it had something on it that I would love to do. I've done recoveries and I think they're cool. So if I can return something, I will. But unfortunately, that one didn't have a way to return. So at least it's being loved by somebody else right now.
There you go.
Yeah, that's cool.
I was curious about this one. This one really had a lot of questions. What exactly? This is not a button size. This is almost for people that are listening.
That is a bicycle. That is the part to a bicycle bell.
Oh my gosh.
And then I had to go and to Reddit and talk to the vintage bicycle guys. This one is called the Pluto, and it's the actual bell part. This is the part that the little clanger and it would ring.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it's got that little devil in it. And from what I've heard, it's of these bicycle bells, late 1800s, early 1900s.
Wow.
I think it's like the rarest one. I've had a lot of people offer me $150 as is. And it's just so cool because when it came out of the ground, I had no idea what it was.
Right.
Same thing. I put it out there and go, what is it? And then that's when the bicycle people came out and were telling me this. And then I'm getting offers of all the time. So I know it's worth something, but it doesn't matter because it's just too cool to get rid of.
That is really a neat find.
Yeah, really, really cool, man. I had no idea what that could be.
Yeah.
Well, and the thing is that we found old catalogs of the company that made these, and you can find a lot of them on there. It's like this one, and I think there was one other bell that I found. They're not on any of the literature, but the old bicycle guys know what they are.
That's incredible.
Because I've seen some that are in nicer condition, and those are just insane amounts of money.
Yeah, crazy. I searched real quick for it, and I found one on Reddit. Reddit's got a picture of one where a guy's asking about it. Does anybody know anything about it? And yeah, really amazing. Huh. Those are my favorite finds right there because I will go search the heck out of that thing.
Yeah, right. Yeah, how many times does that come up where you just stumble on something and then you go down the rabbit hole and it just blows your mind that actually existed and you found it?
Another channel, if you don't mind, Matt, Get That Treasure. I think he talks about that. He finds something that he's never had, and then he goes into the rabbit hole, and then or he said when he saw a picture of mine, he's like, now I want one, And then I found a few more bicycle bells, and after finding a few more, and I was like, I just want to keep finding bicycle bells. They're so cool.
Right. Yeah. I did see this one, and I'm always interested in seated. So this to me is like an amazing find. I see 1861. What is this, and where'd you find it?
That one was at an old late 1800s, early 1900s farm site. It shut down approximately 1922, and it just kind of turned into like a little bit of a dump site. So there's like stuff everywhere, and it's just like it's like old abandoned property now. And it's the same thing. Go out there, and you never know what you're gonna find.
Yeah.
Most days, I mean, I could probably fill up like a 5-gallon bucket with mason jar lids. This is what I find that day to start my day.
That's what you're gravitating towards is the mason jar lids, huh? You're known for that.
Those mason, but the thing is, the mason jar lids sound so good, and
they're
I don't know
amazing.
how many times where it's either mason, it could be a mason jar lid, but every now and then you come up with a coin. And this, I about fell off my chair. I mean, I had to. Everyone talks about these coins. This is it's my oldest one. No, it's not my oldest one. I think it's 10 years newer than my oldest one, but still, it's my oldest diamond. That I found just super, super exciting. It's one of those things where I had to actually call people because I was so excited.
Like, what is this? Right. Yeah, look what I found. Those are fun. When you got to call friends from the field, you found some cool stuff.
Absolutely. Is that your oldest coin right there?
That one is. And man, I just want to say, I'm like, look, I don't know who designed this beautiful display, but I'm telling you,
I had to throw that up there.
I am proud to own this, and I'm telling you, look how good that coin looks sitting on that display.
It does.
It looks good. It looks really good for that. We're going to do one more, and then I've got to get off here pretty soon. So, Ken, I can't remember which.
Is
this the one? No, that's a fob.
No, there's a. Let me see.
Oh, that is a Coca-Cola watch fob.
Yeah. That one's pretty cool.
Oh, the thing is cool. That I found that it was at a hotel complex. They had a little volleyball court, and I went over just expecting to find jewelry or something like that. This is like a foot down, and I don't know how something this old got into that area. The only thing we can think of is maybe in the fill dirt.
Yep. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. This is the one here. Yes. I want to know the story for this one. People do know that I do have a previous law enforcement background. So anything badge related, law enforcement related, it just draws me in. I just think it's such a cool little thing. Tell me what we're looking at here so the people listening can see it with us.
Okay, this is a Minneapolis police badge, and it's numbered number 62. Based on the design, it's approximately somewhere between that time frame where they were using that particular badge was 1905 to 1915-ish, that kind of time frame. And we're trying to figure out how it got to Michigan. Well, in Grand Rapids, Michigan, which is about 45 minutes from where I live now, which is almost the area where this was found, they had a police chief convention. So we're thinking somehow it got lost. Maybe in the trash, got hauled over to where this was. That's the only way we can think of. Everyone, because one of the weird questions that everyone was asking me goes, was there a potty attached to it? And there was not, and so it was just, it would just happen to be there. I couldn't believe it. I have contacted the Minneapolis Police Museum and have been in contact with them, but I still don't have any more information on like an officer or who this might actually belong to.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. Just having the badge number on it, which is fantastic. That I love when agencies do that, and by putting the badge numbers on there. That would be absolutely incredible. What a story to be able to tell for this relic. If you're able to get that information, I hope down the road when you do come up with some information, and I really hope that you do. Please let us know because we would love to know and feature this with the story and everything behind it, because that's what an amazing find for detectives to come across. Oh my gosh.
And if you're able to find any kind of like existing family members or something of that person, you'll be able
that's kind of what I was looking for, and I've had so many badge collector people go, hey, I would love to have this in my collection and make cash offers and things, but I can't. It's one of those, it's the same thing. It doesn't matter. I can't get rid of it, and I'm same like you. It's kind of special, and I would like to, if I could return, that would be something. If I could return it to a family member, that would be the ultimate. That would be the ultimate return.
Yeah, forget it.
We've said it before. Ken and I both do a lot of work with Ancestry.com or through Ancestry.com to try and research and think back and find relatives and things like that. So if we can help you, please reach out and let us know.
Okay. I will definitely use you guys as a resource if I get more information.
That'd be great.
Perfect. That'd be great.
Yep.
Well, Rip, you've been a great guest, man. We appreciate you having you on and telling us a little bit about your story. Everyone, you can go check him out over on Facebook and also YouTube. Tony's going to throw the links down there.
Yep.
We'll give you your sort of last shout out here. Say any parting words for us, and then in the green room, we'll ask you to wait and we'll say our goodbyes off the air if you're okay with that.
Okay. Well, first off, I'm honored to have been asked to be on this. I've seen you guys, and your show is great. And so to be part of this, it's kind of a big deal. I'm very, very happy. And for everyone else who came out to watch, hey, thanks. Like I said, I'm just a small guy right now, and I'm just trying to work my way up and trying to get myself established in this hobby. And I'm hoping I'm doing that. And I'm just trying to do my best to be a good person to represent this hobby in a good way also.
Yeah. Well, I think you're doing a good job, man. Your video is really great. I think you are turning into a great ambassador for the hobby. And we just look forward to your adventures, man. We'll just keep watching and see what you and Mr. Ripcode find out there. And now that I know the story behind Ripcode, it's awesome, man. Your logo is going to make more sense to me now. You know what I mean?
There you go. There you go.
That little vehicle. I was like, what is that vehicle? But
that's a future video. I'm going to explain that. If for anyone who didn't watch, I'm going to explain that.
You should. That's awesome.
Well, thanks again. Wait down below, and we'll say our goodbyes off the air, but appreciate you coming on with us.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, Rip.
Awesome guy.
Yeah, very cool. People are saying they really enjoyed it and subbing his channel, and I'm sure he appreciates that. Yeah, if you like what he's doing, let him know. Hey, man, found you on Relics Radio and checking you out. Keep up the good work. I'm sure he'll appreciate the encouragement for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, great guy, man.
Yep.
Down to earth, just like most people we bring on.
I know.
Like,
absolutely amazing. And you can tell that the passion's there, So another guy you can call up, hey, I'm going to be in Michigan. All right, dude, let's go,
Yep.
So love it. Love it.
What do you got going on?
Yep. Just want to mention one more time before we head off here. Next week, April 15th, we've got Bree Detectorist coming on Relics Radio. Talk about what she's up to. Another up and coming star out on YouTube and social media with metal detecting. Incredible finds, great personality, and fantastic lady. She's going to be on with us. And by the way, we're also giving away a legend too. So if you guys are interested in $1,000 metal detector from Nokta, make sure that you guys join us next week live. You've got to be in the live chat with us and have the capability of participating in the chat. So try and get all that worked out. We'll see you guys next week, April 15th, which is a Wednesday, and at 8 p.m. Eastern time, we'll be live with Metal Detectorist and giving away that legend too. And if you guys are interested in anything that I've got going on,
which is a lot.
Mention one more time, republicdisplays.com. If you guys head over there. And ironically, while we were live, I got 3 orders. So thank you guys for the support with that. Head over to republicdisplays.com. Use the code Relics Radio 10. You'll get 10% off all of the products that are over there right now. Make sure you pick up some displays. And if you don't see what you like, shoot me some messages. I've made lots of custom stuff. This whole website and idea behind Coin and Relic displays is not about what's in my head. It's all about what's out there in the community. And when people bring ideas, man, I just love them running with it. So shoot me some messages if you don't see anything that you really fits what you want to display. We'll work out something, figure it all out. But use that code Relics Radio 10, get 10% off. And I'm also 5280 Adventures, all on social media. Find me YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, all that kind of stuff. So next week, I'm going to do that all in one breath. Okay.
That's good. You have that down. That's perfect.
All right, y'all. See you all next week. Thanks.
Yeah. Hey, thanks everyone for the well wishes. I know most of you know, some of you don't. Recently had knee replacement surgery, and last week, right, we're at a week and a day right now post-op, and I was able to completely get off of narcotic meds yesterday. So things are looking good, feeling good. I feel like I'm a little bit ahead of schedule, but I'm not going to rush it. I'm going to keep taking it slow, doing what the doctors are asking me to do, doing the physical therapy, doing the exercises. But I'm at the point now to where I'm about ready to switch from a walker to a cane and pretty much walking almost unassisted. Give me another week and I'm sure I'll probably be there, which is going to be great. Another couple of weeks, no driving, all that stuff, but hope to get back to work from home. And been watching a lot of videos. So you guys out there that put out videos, keep doing a great job with that. But thank you. The community has been amazing, sending me well wishes. Thank you all so much. It's meant the world to me. And keep swinging out there, keep digging. I got to live vicariously through you. So go find the good stuff and make sure you tell me about it, because I need it, man. I need it. Next Wednesday, let's give them Metal Detector Way and let's talk to Bree from Metal Detectorists. And we'll see you then.
Thank you so much for listening to Relics Radio. We will see you back here next week for another exciting guest. Until then, get out and dig it all.